students, and welcome to week 12 in online lifespan growth and development. Before I talk about this week, I just want to give you some encouragement to keep going strong. I know at this point in the semester, it can feel like everything's piling up and you're tired, but you're almost done. You're in the final stretch. So keep going strong. You're almost there to the end. So this week we will be studying chapter 12, which is on adulthood and, of course, looking at the body and mind first. Next week we'll look at the psychosocial development. So up to this point, we've looked at rapid growth, right, through infancy and childhood. We've looked at major changes in adolescence with puberty. We've looked at emerging adulthood, and now here we find ourselves in adulthood. So you won't see as many physical changes as we've seen up to this point, but you'll really start understanding, the long-term care of our body, preparation for late adulthood, and how so much of that is relevant to how well we're taking care of ourselves during adulthood. So I think that this is a chapter where we all need that good reminder of how important keeping our health, vibrant and making sure we're having our checkups and all of those types of things. So this chapter does a really good job of reminding me what I need to be doing to take care of myself physically. And then, of course, we have the mind side of it too. So you'll have the opportunity to go through and look at what is happening during an adulthood with our cognitive abilities, and how do we keep our cognitive abilities strong, and where's our focus. So this is a great chapter, especially because if you're not yet in adulthood, you're almost there, right? And so we have a lot to learn from this chapter. So as we look at the activities for this week, of course, you have your quiz, and you have a big assignment that I talked about last week, and it's due this week, and that's your interview with someone in late adulthood. Now, yes, we're just starting adulthood, but I want you to do this interview this week. It's due this week because as we move into talking about late adulthood, I want you to already have this completed, if that makes sense. So that as you start reading about late adulthood and understanding late adulthood, the interview that you've already done helps to, magnify and enhance the information that you learn in that chapter. So again, these interview questions that I've given you are certainly a starting point. You can elaborate, you can ask follow-up questions in your interview. I really encourage you to take the interview into the direction that makes most sense for you and the person that you're interviewing. I hope, again, I know a little personal last week as I talked about this assignment because of having just lost my very last grandparent this year, and now not having that opportunity to go back and ask questions about our family history and things that only my grandparents or great grandparents would know. So if you have the opportunity to interview a family member, I really encourage you to get that family history. And as you're interviewing someone in late adulthood, also, just look at the physical traits of that person. If you're doing a live interview, even if it's through technology, and just be aware. Be a good student of psychology, studying all aspects as you do this interview. And I do also want to mention that you can certainly type up the transcript of the interview and turn that in. That's completely fine. If you have permission and you want to video the interview, that's great. You wouldn't have to type it up. You could just submit the interview in video format or in audio format. So with all of today's technology, I encourage you to use that in this assignment. So have fun with it. I think that you will make someone's day by interviewing them, and I also think that you stand to learn and gain so much by doing this interview. So I hope it's an enjoyable, but also a very meaningful assignment for you. So that previews this week as we study adulthood, body, and mind. I also want to remind you that we are starting registration for winter semester as well as for spring semester. So make sure that you're getting that taken care of and you're looking at schedules and getting with your advisor. If there are any questions that you have, of course, always about the content, but also about registration that I can be helpful with, please don't hesitate to reach out. So have a great week. I can't wait to see what you do with these interviews. So take care, everybody.